Good day Philippines, good day BBB Patrol. Today is 9th of December 2023, bringing you relevant and important news about local topics and issues. Local residents in some part of Dagupan, Pangasinan faces terrible flooding from high tides. Students and pedestrians go through the flood to travel to their nearby schools, universities, and markets. Dagupan City is located in the province of Pangasinan that has low elevation and influenced by bodies of water including 7 rivers and numerous creeks that makes the city prone to flooding. Known to the world's bangus capital, the city has high market in terms of export in fish products but endures a dark and problematic issue faced by the locals. The poor elevation of the city makes it more vulnerable to flooding. Moreover, this geological characteristic of Dagupan is the reason why the city is the catch basin of floodwaters from the neighboring towns.
Barangay Pantal is in the catch basin of the city, so the barangay is one of the lowest places and closest to the waterways. It is also close to Universidad de Dagupan, where many students live there, which affects them when going to their university due to frequent flooding even when there is no rain.
Mahirap sa aming mga estudyante, syempre nursing, puti rin ang uniform, sobrang hassle. Mabuti pa sana kung may iba pang solusyon yung gobyerno sa problema para hindi nakadepende sa mga drainage yung tubig baha. Kasi masukal din na baka mabarahan pa yung mga kanal na yun.
The city itself has its own measure to mitigate the arising problem, but not sufficient enough to the changing environment and many external factors such as clogging, changes in weather patterns, littering around the areas of water collection, bad design of drainage, and improper measure to counter the rising tide in nearby communities.
Narigat para kadagiti negosyante kan kadagiti da tao ti layos, takangronan nga paggapuan na atoy kathanlang nga tudo, no di ka malang ti high tide. Nga mabaling nga pagrugyanan ti saksakit nga mangsagabal ti biag ti tattao ditoy.
So, how do you go through the day when the high tide engulfs the street while going home or going into places affected by the problem? Planning a mitigation plan requires absolute and reliable data from the experts and opinions from the locals. Planning also includes the economic value of projects and proposed solution that is beneficial in the long run.
Dagupan City Government creates the Dagupan City Flood Mitigation Commission, which is tasked to create a master plan to address the city's flooding problem. The problem in most parts of the city caused by irregular land conversions, extreme weather events, and piecemeal infrastructure and urban planning pose a great threat to the development of the city of Dagupan. The Flood Mitigation Commission is tasked to conduct comprehensive assessment of the flooding situation in the city, provide technical and professional advice to the city mayor on the field of flood control and other allied engineering matters, and help prepare and implement integrated flood mitigation plans for the city, among others.
As the weather pattern is undeniably becoming more unpredictable, the more resilience is what we need. Flood is part of Dagupan. Short-term and long-term solutions need to be planned to address flooding, to protect lives and properties, and to build resilient societies in the face of increasing flood risk.
Low-lying areas serve as the catch basin during typhoons. Dagupan is one of the cities of Pangasinan where floods happen often due to its topography and geographic location. As it is found near the coastal area and rivers, the flow and behavior of the river and streams should be monitored. As climate change empowers typhoons, storm surge, and tides, a city like Dagupan should be more aware and ready to become water resilient. To mitigate the impact of these hydrologic events, drainage should be plugged, repaired, and expanded as population tends to increase. Sewage tends to increase and drainage systems should be improved for development.
Because of contamination of water, Rainwater harvesting can be a solution of this city. As it is vulnerable to flooding, this can help to provide and reuse water. Flood mapping and monitoring can depict areas severely affected by floods. It can also be used for future planning together with flood damage assessment for infrastructures to provide details about infrastructure damages and ecosystem to provide relief, rehabilitation and reconstruction. Designing and building flood-resistant infrastructure can ensure resilience and preparedness to flood events.
You just have heard the latest local news and some suggestions to mitigate flood. Again, this is BBB Patrol. News with no bias. News with no exception, delivering you nothing but truth. This has been Justine Pineda, bringing the latest news around the Philippines. Thank you for being with us.